Yes. Come on, let's go, people. This is the Dawn in the building. I tell you, we're ready. The English Premier League Game Week 39 preview and review. Monday. Sport review show. I tell you, I'm not here alone, people. Great people right behind me, behind the scene. Right now I'm in the studio, kicking it live and direct. Welcoming everybody onto this show. They done massively. Kunle's here, Ehis here, Robbie is here. Up there is also here. Shay is also coming on. Come on, let's go. Smash the like on the video. Prof is also joining me. He's filming, but somehow he's happy. Chelsea changing their fourth time. What's the name of this code? Graham Potter. The board right now. He did the job. Alright, bring it down, DJ in the building. Alright, we all ready, we all set for the review show. But first, let me welcome everyone onto this show. This is INTERCONTINENTAL SPORTS TV. The only channel on YouTube, on Twitter, talking about sport, bantering, I'm telling you, most information on this channel is fantastic. I have to give it to you guys subscribing on this channel, watching us live and clear, hearing me loud and clear, under the influence of these great people behind me. Kunle in the building, Prof in the building. We are ready. Let's talk. Come on, people. What we're talking about, let's look at it. Talking point today, the game week. I'm supposed to write 29, I wrote 28. What is wrong with you? Don't wake up, wake up. Top 4 race begin. Manchester United, number 4 right now. We are waiting on us to climb the ladder. Oh my goodness, Manchester United mess up over the weekend. We are going to talk about it. Rogers fired. Potters on his way home. Already at home right now. They keep changing their coach. What is wrong with Chelsea? We're going to talk about it. Boxing, we're going to talk about it. This great man from Nigeria, from UK as well. Anthony Joshua beating that guy silly. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. People, sit back and say, welcome. These great people. Of course, Sheye, are you hearing me loud and clear? You're welcome to the show. Sheye, talk to me. You're saying the mod.
Good evening, Don. I won't say it's great to be back because I'm not in a good mood. I'm actually in a good mood. I just feel let down by Graham Potter's departure. I know Prof has more or less turned on Saturday after the result against Aston Villa. Yes. But I just feel, to be fair, results were really bad. But I kept rooting for him because I could understand what he was thrown into, the situation he was thrown into regarding.
All right, you know what, Sheye, let me tell you something. We'll discuss about it, you know. But I just want to welcome you on this so that you go hear him today. 2-0 with all your stars. We'll come to that. But let me welcome this great man. Okay. Arsenal are flying. I swear down. I'm scared. It's getting like Arsenal's going to win the league. But I'm still standing gidigba. Nothing they shake. Nothing they happen. You're welcome on the show, bro. What's going on, bro?
Thank you so much, Bidon. It's always a pleasure to be on Intercontinental Sports TV. And I don't think there's a happier time to be here because I am one of the leaders on this platform from this past weekend of Premier League football. So yes, I'm extra excited to be here today.
Nice, I am in Germany. Oh Lord, Robbie, Manchester United in the mud. I want to welcome you, Robbie. You're welcome to the show. Manchester United losing 2-0 to Newcastle. Talk to me.
What's up, party people? What's up, party people? It's good to be right here in the studio once again, ladies and gentlemen. I think for me, I'm enjoying this zone that I am. I'm not supporting anybody. Please don't mind that they don't. I am not a Man United fan. I am a freelance fan enjoying the game. But I think one important thing yesterday for me is the fact that United didn't play very well yesterday. In my analysis that I actually put on Twitter, I wrote it that for the fact that Newcastle were very physical with United yesterday, that trying to play champion football was not going to get them anywhere. And they needed to be physical. And I think that is one thing that has been missing in United's games this season. They are not physical. And when you play against teams like Newcastle that will grind you to a halt to get results, you have to just bring in the muscle. Unfortunately, the only person that brings the muscle in United is Casemiro, and he was not on the field yesterday. But going back to the shocking results of the week, I think the results against Manchester City with Newcastle was one shocking result. Then I think the one that practically blew me away was the Aston Villa Chelsea game. Well done to you, Sheye. I think I'll be supporting you right now. Very wonderful man.
You're welcome. We are welcome. Robbie, don't talk to me right now. Manchester United in the mud. But let's move on. We move. Ehis, can you hear me loud and clear? Aston flying. What's the magic? Winning again. Leeds United in the mud. Talk to me, Ehis. Aston grinding this. What's going on, bro? You're welcome. Live.
It's good. It's good to be on the show, man. Big up.
Ehis, you know what? Jump out and jump in. I can't hear you loud and clear. You're fading out. Only Manchester United in the board. You are welcome to the show. What's going on, bro? Live and direct.
I'm good, Don.
Kunle, I am not good. Wallahi.
Me, I'm good, though. You are not good. Me, I'm good. I am very, very good.
I am not happy. I am fuming.
Me, I'm happy, though.
2-0. You're welcome.
2-0. It is what it is, like you
It is what it is.
Yes.
It is what it is. Let me welcome this great man again, Prof. 2-0 again. Over how many millions spent? Still in the mud. 2-0. And Graham Potter is already at home right now. I think he's having a fall right now. He's having his breakfast at home right now. And we are looking for which one. You can see what I'm putting on the screen. Which one will be the next coach? Welcome to the show, Prof.
Thank you very much, people. It's good to be on the show today. Chelsea, I mean, there's always the last straw that breaks the camel's back, and that result against Aston Villa, definitely what I saw. I knew I could sense that I was going to be sacked, and inevitably it happened. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, once again, irate. I don't know what to talk about. I don't want to talk about Liverpool at this moment. It is what it is.
Even we don't know what to talk about ourselves. So yeah, it's mutual.
All right, he is back again. Well, he is turn on your live right now. He is. You're welcome to the show once again. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it's good to be on the show. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yeah, I'm in transit, that's why, driving home. But it's good to be on the show. Big up to Shea. Big up to your prediction last weekend on Friday.
Yeah.
You went spot on. And you were just being realistic and instead of the way it is. Also, big up to Anthony Joshua, that comeback win. Yeah, Okpa wanted the KO, but come on. It was a dominant performance. And also big up to Arsenal. See, this time around, we are taking everybody down one after the other. Bring on Liverpool. Bring on Man City. We are here. We are here.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. But quick one. I want a quick debate, a quick talk between Prof and Irate. Who is having the best season between Chelsea and Liverpool? Irate, I'm going to start off with you. Quick one.
Best season. Nobody's having a best season. Both teams are not where they should be. But what I will say is, one team, I know, we can say, we've gone all the way from trying to win a quadruple to where we are now, which is disastrous anyways. But the thing is, we have a direction. We know where we are going. We have a manager we trust. And we know how we have worked. Like I said, we've been in this situation before. And we'll definitely give our manager the time to improve things and build the team back again. But the other team on the other side, the so-called 500 BG team, all they've done is hire and fire this season. I mean, look at that timeline. That shows an owner that he doesn't really know what he wants. He doesn't know what he's doing. That is just, it's clear to see. How can you back a manager in the summer transfer window, sack him after 7 games, and then you pay 20 million to bring in another manager from Brighton, and then you spent all of that money in January, and you sacked him again. I mean, that team, honestly, the owners don't have a direction right now. They don't know where they are going. They have a massive game coming up against Real Madrid.
Yes.
Before I was thinking, okay, maybe they could fancy their chances, but right now they are managerless. And I'm even thinking they are going to make a worse decision. They are making a worse decision keeping, I don't even know his name, a man from Brighton or something. I forgot what his name is.
I can't even remember. Me too, Seth.
I mean, the team has no direction. They are in the second half of the table right now with all the money spent. They are actually getting closer to relegation zone than to Arsenal at the top of the table.
I swear.
I mean, what else could you say? Absolutely disastrous. They have no shout at all to even be in top 4. No shout.
All right, you're welcome, Irate. That's Irate for you in Liverpool.
Did I say relegation close to us now?
No.
No, I said they are closer to relegation than us now.
All right, Prof. I know you have a different perspective. I know that about it. So who is having a quick debate?
Yeah, definitely Liverpool. No doubt about it. There's no Liverpool having a worse season. I mean, if you look at the parameters involved, Chelsea coming from a huge transition, it doesn't happen easily. Any team will not be able to cope with that. 1 year ago when Vladimir Putin set his foot into Ukraine and they had to sanction Roman Abramovich to sell this club, that changed the history of Chelsea immediately. They had to sell the club into a different new owner who had a lot of things to change. Change the boardroom, change a lot of things, change the staff, change a lot of players. So when lots of changes happen in a club, anybody who knows football should know that it comes with its own consequences, and that's what Chelsea is facing at the moment. So, but Liverpool is well structured team, and established team already with a world-class manager. From 4 trophies to fighting for top 4, definitely Liverpool has the worst of them. Chelsea is still, they're out for the Champions League. So whatever argument you make today, there's still a chance for Chelsea to win the argument. So for that, to win the Champions League. So for that reason, Liverpool miles ahead. They're having a worse season than Chelsea.
Kunle,
what are you even talking about?
Kunle, who is the winner?
Newcastle United made changes, and
I should want it too.
Now. So it's not all about a team can make changes and still be in a good position. So that's your point. I don't even agree with it.
All right. Kunle, final. Kunle, settle this. Who is
if I'm to be honest, I think Liverpool have tried. To be honest, we know they've been awful, but when you look at Chelsea, Chelsea's major issue is always scoring goals. Liverpool can still even score. Liverpool can score. Their issue is conceding goals, right? I mean, you look at it under Potter. Chelsea conceded, I don't know, they scored 33 goals and conceded 31.
Yeah.
I think that is just, and Chelsea is a team that, we've always known to be defensively solid. I mean, when you look at the options that they have and who they bought, Chelsea shouldn't be shipping in goals, but for them to have, shipped in that amount of goals and, not scored that much with all the attacking options that they bought. I mean, you can't take it away that the fact that Chelsea bought a lot of players, fans were expecting to see something, but they've not just seen
nothing.
We can still forgive Liverpool that Liverpool didn't buy as many players as in Liverpool needed to make replacements in certain places where they didn't, right? So that's why we can say we can give Liverpool a pass because they are still stuck with the same set of players. But Chelsea made changes in different parts of the pitch, and we're still struggling to see, like, if you want to say who is Chelsea's best player this season, it's going to be difficult to say because the team hasn't really, at least for Liverpool, you can still say Mohamed Salah because at least, he scored a couple of goals and all, but you can't say that about Chelsea. So I think Chelsea definitely has had a worse season.
Final, and this final, Chelsea has a
God bless you.
Okay. Who is having a bad season? Another final. Just 1 minute. Who is
the Premier League table? The Premier League table answers that question for us. So I'll leave it at that. The Premier League table answers that question.
All right.
So what happens if Chelsea goes on to win the Champions League? You come back and change what you said.
No. So we're talking about the Premier League. So
no.
Better
season.
Better season. Okay, well, I think we all know on this platform that Chelsea is probably not going to win the Champions League.
We don't know.
I can't believe you are still
okay, so let me speak for myself. Let me just speak myself.
That
Chelsea is not going beyond this round of the Champions League.
You cannot win the Champions League.
It's funny. I just find it funny with Prof because I need to ask yourself, like, okay, how do you want to get past the Real Madrid?
I'm very sure you said so. I'm very sure all of you said so 2012, so I can't take your words for it. I'm sorry. But Bayern Munich's backyard with a depleted squad and a bad manager, I did it. So I can't.
But you see the thing, Prof, is that Chelsea. I can say Chelsea still probably had a better squad, even though they were struggling. Yes, Roberto Di Matteo. But that's not the case here. I mean, Chelsea still had players who understood each other, very well. Drogba's, Lampard, that have already, but do this Chelsea? Does this Chelsea team understand? Do they understand themselves? Do they really know what?
Remo Bombers, go beat them. Remo.
No chance. I'm sorry, I can't accept.
A Mandela's team against Real Madrid.
Wait, Prof.
Don't be quiet now. Talk to these people. Let them calm down.
I can't accept anything.
Remind the Don that Man U lost yesterday.
Let them have a go at each other. I'm right here enjoying every point. Please fire on.
The thing is, I even want to. How does Chelsea want to even beat Real Madrid?
That's what I'm saying. We've won it twice, and both times we were the underdogs. That is why I said you cannot rule Chelsea out. Because both times we won it.
But this is against a team that has won it 14 times, if I'm right.
And that was I beat that team on my way to winning it. That team that has won 14 times, I beat them on my way to winning it. So what are you saying?
Okay. Okay.
All right. Just
no.
Don't worry. Let's leave them. Chelsea want to win the Champions League. That's the topic for today.
That's why I said Liverpool should not be put against with Chelsea because I have a chance. Look, once you don't have a chance, you don't have a chance. I still have a chance to this moment in time.
Chelsea has a chance against Ramadan Karim.
Why didn't you have
a Karim Benzema that is fasting? Chelsea has a chance against them. I don't think so.
I want to ask Prof. You said you beat them. Was it 2-3? Okay, but my own question is, why didn't you beat them last season when you had a first leg? You had a first leg lead, right? And then you blew it. Come on.
Well, they didn't have the chance against Watkins and Buendia, but they have.
I mean, are you serious with that analysis? Madrid loses again. They lose every day against young smaller teams.
With what I've seen from Chelsea,
is that really analysis?
And more against Aston Villa. You guys, I'm sorry, managerless Chelsea cannot beat that.
Managerless.
Don't worry. Once Real Madrid gives Chelsea 3-0 first half, Prof will be humble.
What I'm saying is, when you want to argue it, a team that was up, when the team is up and goes down, it is worse for a team who is trying to get up. That's the argument here. Liverpool were up. When we all made our predictions, where they were tied in with City to compete for the title. How low have they fallen? Nobody mentioned Chelsea to win the title now. So I'm the one trying to go up. They have been up and they're falling so bad. Liverpool has a worse season. No doubt about it.
All right, let's leave it to the audience, the comments. Who is having the bad season so far? Let's go into this straight up. Man City, you know what the result? I don't know. I don't just know. I don't understand. Man City beating Liverpool, but Man City, Liverpool scored first. Liverpool scored first, and we all thought, it's going to be a different ball game entirely. But second half.
You thought, not we all.
But second half, Man City came all out and beat Liverpool. So can you talk to me right now? Irate, the game ended 4-1 in favor of Man City. What's your take on their match?
Do you know what? I will start by Jogging Klopp's comment after this match, and I love that comment. What? He said that even if Rodri has been sent off, and Man City were playing with 10 men, we still wouldn't get a draw in that game. That's how poor Liverpool were.
Wow.
It was expected. I was just praying at the point that it shouldn't become a battering where we are going to 7s and 8s, So I'm not surprised. Like I said, we have a very good Liverpool teams that have won Premier League, Champions League. They've gone to the Etihad and the best they could get has been a point. Yeah. We haven't won at Etihad since Pep came. And this is a very bad Liverpool team. So 4-1, I think it's a good reflection of how the game panned out actually.
Yes. Moving on to the next game, Arsenal winning 4-1 over Leeds United. Okwe Adebari, can you tell us how you guys doing it? Cover the match for us. Please tell us the review of that match.
To be perfectly honest, I think at this point Arsenal have been grinding out results a game. I'm not going to take anything away from the result. 4-1, it's a good thing. I'd have preferred a clean sheet. I predicted a clean sheet on Friday. Yeah. But if you go in depth into the analysis, Leeds United were missing key players. First of all, there was no Wilfred Yonto, there was no Tyler Adams. These are two key players for them who can help change the nature of the game. But I would say to Leeds United that they started and they went with the right approach, trying to get Arsenal unawares from the first minute of kickoff. It could have been a result of the Bournemouth game. And then again, Arsenal were trying their very best to, break the deadlock. It took a while before Arsenal finally registered a goal. And I must say that penalty was, it was good enough for Arsenal to open the floodgates. It was very good. But in terms of general gameplay, I don't think it was Arsenal's best performance. If you ask me, we've played better.
Really?
Games. Yes, honestly, yes, we've played better games this season.
I thought that game was so easy for you. Like,
no, it really wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. We've played better games. And but the good thing about it is that the positive there is that you can see that these boys are hungry and they are desperate to grind out results anyway and anyhow. So I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that Leandro Trossard is showing his value. I think to me he seems to be like a fantastic combination of Santi Cazorla and Alexander Kleb, because his awareness in the final third is spot on. That goal that he served on a platter for Gabriel Jesus was just a great example of it. Being very much aware of your surroundings and being able to help your teammates. Same thing to Ben White. Ben White was outstanding. Another good clear goal from him. You can see that he has an eye for goal, and when he performs like that, it begs the question why Ben White is not in the England setup. I would really love to know why. And I think another big shout out has to go to Rob Holding. Rob Holding has been fantastic in the absence of William Saliba. A lot of people have felt like Arsenal will suffer without Saliba in the team. And I thought that as well. And I felt that maybe we needed to put Ben White in that centre-back position and have Tomiyasu on playing right back. But Tomiyasu has gotten injured. And then, Holding came in and he has performed optimally. So big up to the Arsenal. Big up to Aaron Ramsdale. He has been another very outstanding player, irrespective of the fact that he didn't keep the clean sheet. But good performance for Arsenal. 9 more finals to go.
Proud FC.
Of course, 9 more finals to go, and hopefully Arsenal can clinch the titles.
I want to quickly ask you something, because the game against Liverpool against City, I know I came on here to say, for me, it was City's final, and if they lost the game to Liverpool, I felt you guys would go on and win it. Now, for me, the right back, I have to be in the same. I have to say the same for you people too, because you're facing Liverpool next. How big is that game against Liverpool? Do you think if you lose the game, do you think if you win it, you have one hand, but if you lose it, do you think that's it? That's the title gone?
Nope.
All right.
First of all, I don't even think that Arsenal is going to lose that game. I don't think we're going to lose at Anfield. I think the team is in very, very good form, and Liverpool are wounded, but nevertheless, it's Anfield. I would say that Anfield used to be a fortress. Anfield used to be that place where everyone fears to go, but I don't know, it hasn't been that way this season. Liverpool haven't made the most of points claimed this at Anfield this season, so I'm confident going into the game. I believe that Arsenal can get the results. If they go in with the same approach that they had against Manchester United, why not? They can definitely get a victory in that game. I think the only game that would make me think twice has to be the game against Manchester City at the Etihad. So going against Liverpool, yes, I know we have a poor record there, but I'm confident that Arsenal can get the win.
This confidence, Ehis, this confidence. What do you want to say about this? This confidence Arsenal having, or they are sharing up and down? Ehis, can you hear me loud and clear? Arsenal, I don't think I lost Ehis again. All right, let's move on. Robbie, 3 games. Can you run it for us? That's Bournemouth winning, Fulham 2-1, Brighton 3-3, Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Robbie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I think for those games, like I said last week when you were asking for predictions, I said that Leicester City were actually going to fall in that particular encounter against Crystal Palace, and they did. Yes, they actually scored the first goal in that particular encounter. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. So, but Crystal Palace were able to conjure some form of magic courtesy of their former manager to get that vital win in that particular game. And for the Brentford game, I predicted it was going to end in a draw, though the scoreline I predicted was a 2-2 draw, but it was an entertaining one. It ended 3-3, and it tells you that both teams are actually not letting up at this point in time. And Mitoma scored the first goal for Brighton in that game. That took his tally to the highest goal-scoring Japanese player in the English Premier League. So that tells you that that young man is on to something special there. So I think for the weekend, it was more or less like a weekend that had a lot of drama in it. A lot of drama in it. I'm so happy Crystal Palace were able to get the win. Yes, I would have loved either of Brighton and Brentford to get the win in that particular, but I think both teams actually did justice to that fixture, getting a 3-all in that particular one. The third fixture you're talking about, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that one also ended in a 1-1 draw. Yes, Nottingham Forest almost got the win, but Wolverhampton Wanderers got a late equalizer through prudence in that particular game. So I think right now, just as the top of the table is hotting up and it is getting interesting, I think the most interesting part of this current season in the EPL is the battle of relegation. That is where the whole fun is right now. One win takes a team off the bottom three and takes them into the middle of the table, and the next person wins another game, and that team drops down back into it. So I think we're going to see this fight down to the wire. It's going to go to the end of the season, and respectfully, or more or less, let me say, unfortunately, it will be very sad for any team that gets relegated on the final day. It will be a hard pill to swallow. But more or less, I think that of Southampton is confirmed because they lost that game over the course of the weekend, and I'll tell you, it was a shambolic performance from the team. And one question I've always been asking is, why did Paul Onuachu, I would always repeat that question, why did Paul Onuachu leave Belgium for the English Premier League? And I will tell you that sometimes the way the motive behind why Nigerian players move from a prosperous club to a struggling club is something that really needs to be studied. Same thing can be said for Siridezzas with Cremonese in the Italian Serie A. They also are battling relegation. In the case of Joe Aribo, you can understand. But for Paul Onuachu, I really don't understand the motive behind somebody that was starting regularly for his club in Belgium to come and be warming the bench in England. For what reason? So, like I said, that is just my own cap of what happened over the course of the weekend.
For Onuachu's career, I mean, the championship is the fifth or sixth biggest league. Sixth, right?
Sixth highest league.
Sixth.
Thank you very much. So how do you blame him? So even if he falls to the championship, still the sixth biggest. So I don't think you can blame such a young Nigerian man.
Honestly, sorry, Robbie.
No, Allah, let him die and enjoy his championship football.
Robbie, put yourself in Onuachu's shoes. You see a well-established club that has a reputation like Southampton is coming for you, and you think because you're having game time in Genk or you're the top scorer, you will say you want to stay. What does Genk offer you?
Japa.
I mean, the thing is this: even if Southampton get ready,
don't spin that narrative here. Well, you're the championship football. Okay, I hear you. Yes, so if you are calling Southampton well established, then what do you want to call the likes of? What do you want to call the likes of Fulham, or what do you want to call the likes of Brentford and Co?
Yeah, look, it's the Premier League, right? Every Premier League club, the Premier League already builds that reputation. That is where Premier League is where everybody wants to come and play. I mean, even players in Spain, they are leaving. You can see players are leaving Sevilla. Unai Emery left Villarreal. He left Villarreal where he won the Europa League against Manchester, and he came to Aston Villa. Why would he do? Many people would say that's a step down or something, right? But that goes to tell you the power the Premier League has that no other league in Europe has, not even the Italian Serie A. That's just it. I mean, even Joe Aribo, you are saying Joe Aribo's own was better. Why? Joe Aribo was coming from the Rangers. Rangers is one of the most successful clubs in world football. They have about 50-something titles, if not over, and you are leaving such a decorated club coming to Southampton as well. Why would that be justified? But it's just that the Premier League has more appeal then think about audience. People are going to see Onuachu more than they would in Belgium.
On the bench.
He can make it up. If Southampton get relegated and maybe he begins to do very well.
I am basing analysis on a hunch that if they get relegated, he will start playing regularly. Emurasi.
Wait. Look at the case of Mitrovic. Mitrovic was in Fulham, wasn't he? Was in Newcastle, but he didn't make it in Newcastle. He went to Fulham. Fulham got relegated. Right there in the championship, you saw it. Mitrovic scored 40 goals in 43 championship games.
That's a great point.
And he was the talk of it. Now he came to the Premier League. Most people have him in their fantasy Premier League team because he was getting goals. Okay, I know maybe the goals have dried up now and all, but it goes to tell you. And he was on everybody. You understand? If he were to be,
you know what? While I know deal, should be Prof is supporting you. Prof is supporting you in this good point, Mr. Graham Potter. Next season, when he goes to championship, Next season, when he goes to championship, let us see how many goals he will score in 43 games. We don't worry, we'll be right here by the grace of God.
All right, guys, let's move on. Let's move on to our neighbor.
To stay in game if Southampton comes calling you.
Let's move on to the greatest club.
So you want to enter the camera, B? Look at your face. Enter the camera now.
All right, guys, let's talk about this game. Sheye, please come into this because you are going to sit down the hot seat right now. What happened? No, what happened? Chelsea losing.
Why are you asking Sheye? Ask Prof now. Why are you asking Sheye?
No, I'm not coming to
because I called the Aston Villa win. That's why he's asking me.
Yeah. Tell us. What happened?
Well, to be honest, I've been a fan of this club for so many years.
Yeah.
So there are some games that I tend to just have a hunch that look, they're going to lose, and I saw it coming. And it's disappointing because the game flow followed the trend that we've been seeing recently, where Chelsea starts well, relatively well. They have chances, but they are unable to score, and then they make a mistake, and then the opposition scores. To be fair, the first half was a bit annoying watching it because I felt there were several ball losses. Chelsea struggled to retain possession in several phases of play. So, but they still had chances to have scored. I don't know how Modric contrived to miss that chance. I feel in the final, in fact, he missed two chances. He missed one before Aston Villa scored. He missed one after Aston Villa scored. I don't know how he contrived to miss that chance or those chances. You could tell that look, the players in the attack, their confidence is slightly low. There were several chances and half chances to have actually scored and even been maybe 3-1 up at halftime, but they could not score. And of course, Aston Villa had one shot from range after halftime. It beat Kepa. So it just seemed like with Potter, there was so much. I don't want to say battle because we had seen this trend for the majority of his years at Brighton, where his teams used to create chances but they struggle to score. So I don't know if there's something maybe wrong in his coaching. I really don't know. But it just seems like this has been a trend with Graham Potter, where his teams can be a bit creative, but they struggle to score goals. So it was disappointing to have lost the game, but I saw it coming. Villa, they did all they had to do. They made things pretty tight, but then still they were a threat on the counter attack, and obviously their goal came from a Cucurella mistake. And speaking of, I found Potter's selection pretty weird. He played Reece James out of position, just to play Loftus-Cheek out of position as well. I felt that was a really bizarre starting lineup from him. I could understand the Cucurella involvement. Initially, I thought it was weird as well because I thought Badiashile should have played from the off. But I haven't seen Cucurella actually play during the game. He was actually trying to press high up the pitch, which I'm not sure is Badiashile's forte. I know he can do that, but I feel when it comes to being able to press high up the pitch, that's Cucurella's strength. So I understand that from that decision in the end, seeing how they actually played on the pitch. But I just feel the Reece James and Loftus-Cheek decision was just really baffling.
Now we the wrong commentary for Kunle. What a club. Irate. Let me quickly ask Irate one thing. Irate, what is wrong with Chelsea? Please, you can all see me.
I mean, I've said it
Please,
before
please remind Don that Man you lost yesterday. Why is he focused on your
You are coming to that. You are coming to
we are
that.
still coming to Man U.
Yeah,
But for me, honestly, Chelsea spending money is not the problem. Newcastle are spending money, Man City have spent money, but it's just the way they are going. I mean, it doesn't speak well. It doesn't look good for an owner when you back a manager, sack him after 7 games, pay 20 million, bring in another manager, and then you sack him, you back him in the chat. I mean, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So I think the owner needs to structure. I think they need a proper. I don't know who their technical or sporting director is. They just need to revamp the way they hire and how they go about recruiting players, because for me they have a whole lot of players they've not shipped out. Lukaku unfortunately
is still coming
next season, so there are a whole lot of players on their books. They need to balance the squad and the books as well. So for me, spending money is not a problem. They just need to figure out a strategy on how to take the club back to where it was, challenging for big trophies.
Can I quickly come in?
No. Prof, hold on. Just wait. Now, sorry, Prof. West Ham, they want something. No, okay. Can you please tell us the game? How do you say the game for the West Ham and Southampton? The reason why I said I'm coming is for this Chelsea. We are going to talk about which coach should Chelsea go for, and Prof is going to spearhead the topic. But then let's quickly talk about West Ham Southampton. Okay, please go for it.
On Friday I predicted a draw in this game, and
I remember.
As you can see from the result, it was a very close narrow win for West Ham. I think West Ham deserved the win. That's the first thing. Taking a look at that goal by Nayef Agued, the Moroccan centre back, he has been brilliant for West Ham this season, by the way. And it was a good delivery by Tilo Kehrer, and he was at the right place at the right time to head the ball home. But I do blame the Southampton defenders and each and every player that was part of that set piece. It seems like they just wanted to do zonal defending. I don't understand how you would want to defend zonally against a West Ham team who is a threat aerially. So that was a bad decision from them. And and then again, West Ham could have even extended the lead in that same first half with Gerard Bowen. He took a nice right shot with his weaker foot and he hit the crossbar. But in the second half, Southampton started to grow into the game. But it was too late, honestly, because first of all, Alphonse Areola was in good form. He wasn't letting anything go past him. Same thing with the West Ham defense. And, the West Ham fans were right behind them. They were cheering the team on to victory. And it got to a point at the time in the match when anytime any West Ham player touches the ball, the crowd is singing Ole and whatnot. So that would have put more pressure on Southampton as well. Paul Onuachu tried to get a goal back for them after a fantastic delivery into the box from James Ward-Prowse. And I just think it's going to be much more difficult for Southampton now to try and escape relegation. I think the best thing for them would have been trying to get a point from that game. But that's not the case as it is. 9 games left to go. Southampton doesn't necessarily have the best run of fixtures. And I think they are going straight down to the championship.
I think so. I think so too. Because of our time, we won't be able to talk about Manchester United's game. So let's move on. We should talk about it.
We have time to talk about it.
All right, Kunle, please. The match ended 2-2. 2-0. So what's your take on that match? I'm talking about Newcastle versus Manchester. Odumigo, Kunle, that game is it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I think it was I think it was expected because
really,
because firstly let's not forget that Man United beat Newcastle in the League Cup final, so that one was going to definitely hurt. And then secondly, it's at St. James's Park. St. James's Park is not an easy ground to win. Even Manchester City did this season. We saw what happened. Newcastle had a 3-1 lead okay, City came back, right? Chelsea, let's not even talk about Chelsea. Jose Mourinho would never want to go to St. James's Park because he has nightmares going there. So it's not an easy ground. Before the commentary started, they said that there was no ticket available. Like, all seats were filled up. So it goes to tell you how immense that fixture is, right? And, then let's not forget again that, Newcastle are a very physical side. And if you can't match them, you're asking for trouble. And you could see from the very beginning how they kept going at United at almost every opportunity. It was telling that if these people kept it up and United did not have a way to respond, they were going to score. So it was inevitable.
But Kunle, don't you think because we didn't have Casemiro and that game looks
definitely Casemiro's absence was felt, and it points to the fact that well, I know it's still early days because Ten Hag is still building this team. I don't think this team has even reached up to half of where they should be, but I think it gives credence to the fact that we need to find a way out of if Casemiro doesn't play, that's the end of throw Weghorst away. Well, it's going to be difficult to throw Weghorst away because I know if everyone is focusing on the goal scoring, I always say something that Rashford has scored close to like 19 goals in all competitions since the end of the World Cup, and part of that is because of this guy called Weghorst, who drops deep, who creates space for him and all. He's a team player, and I like someone like that, someone who is willing to, someone who is.
You also attest to the fact that if Rashford is not scoring, where is the goals coming from?
Goals. No, now this is the thing. We can't say Man United have goal scorers. Okay, it's not only Marcus Rashford. There's Anthony Martial. There's Jadon Sancho. There's Alejandro Garnacho. No, wait, look. There's even a wait, Irish. Exactly. There's even a Scott.
Yeah, those are goal scorers. That's true.
Look, I'm not saying that they will give you goals regularly, but the goals can come from. You don't understand. It's like they are goal scorers. Look, it's just like City. Even in Haaland's absence, even if Alvarez is not there, there are people. Even if Foden is not there, the goal can come from Bernardo Silva. It can come from KDB. It can come from Mahrez. Those guys have goals in them, and we've seen it, right? But because of their form, right, it now makes it difficult. That's why I said that if these guys are really step up and play their game, it's not going to be put on, say, because of this. And like I've said, it's because the team is not really in shape. That's why Weghorst has to be doing all that pressing and all. Because if the team was very good, why would he be doing
I want to ask you, do you think Man United need a 9?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely need to. But then you need to understand that if there isn't cohesion in the team, even that number 9 would struggle. That's the truth. That number 9 is going to struggle. People have been talking about a Victor Osimhen. Trust me, if Victor Osimhen comes, I have the fear that the goals are going to dry, because you need to ask yourself that is someone like Rashford ready to play for Osimhen? Is Anthony ready to play for Osimhen?
I lie.
You understand that's you get. So that's why I said Manchester United. It's not necessarily about the number 9 per se. If all those guys if they up their game and they are to their regular standards, goals will be coming from any of them. You understand?
All right. Let's move on to this. Well, I'm going to start with Prof. This is a huge one, and it's all going down to which one next. Prof, Chelsea has sacked your manager. I mean, can we say that your manager is gone? Yeah. And there are 3 people that has been on the internet right now that they want to go for. So, which one do you think your club to go for? That's the first question. The second is it a right thing for your club doing this? I mean, talking about the owner of the club, so to speak. I mean, changing all this. I mean, the coach going back and forth, sacking this one. And, so many things has been generating on the social media about the way Chelsea club is being run at the moment. Are you satisfied with what is going on? The first question is, which one will you choose? Because every hands is now picking on the first man on the left. I don't want, his name, Julian. Yeah, people have been pointing to that. And I'm sure you might want to pick one of this. And also, don't forget this question. Are you happy with the way Chelsea club is going? So many things going on social media right now. Some people are saying so many things, but what's your opinion? Go for it.
Yeah, first off, I mean, I was till today, I still feel the heartache of Thomas Tuchel's sack. I mean, it's not a secret how much I love that man as a manager of Chelsea. I still felt he shouldn't have been sacked. But, having read what went on behind the scenes of how things were ran, just a second. Yeah, so I think it fell off with the board, Thomas Tuchel. I think he didn't want to be involved. The board wanted to be involved directly. They wanted. There was a story about the WhatsApp group, how they wanted everybody to be in the WhatsApp group together and run the club. But Tuchel wanted to do things on his own. He wanted space to run the club, to run the coaching by himself without too much interference from Oli and co. But the club didn't agree on that, and that was why I got the sack. It wasn't for football reasons. It's very important that I put that out there. And then when he went ahead to get Graham Potter, look, before he got Graham Potter, everybody was tipping Potter for the next big job. It was the next big thing. It was doing great wonders with Brighton, good playing style. It wasn't winning. He hadn't won trophies, but some people would raise their eyebrows about the appointment. But there wasn't doubt about it. Potter is a good manager with what he did, in Brighton. So I can't fault the club for appointing, fault Bully for appointing Graham Potter. You could see where he wanted. He wanted a progressive coach. Potter is a progressive coach, a manager that can work his way up for 3, 4, 5 years, and everything. But he didn't work out like that. Potter, for me, couldn't step up to it. He couldn't step up. There was always that question that can he step up to handling such a huge ego, big thing? I don't think he could, because for me, he didn't have the demeanor. He didn't have the presence enough. There were some rumors about some players who didn't believe in him in the dressing room, don't believe in what he was saying. So we have to take note that some of the players that came in are foreign players, and I can bet you that some of them they don't know enough about Potter. Potter was just a manager in Brighton. I can bet you the likes of Joao Felix, the likes of Modric, and all these foreign players that came, but actually they didn't know a lot about him enough to let them believe in him. And so maybe some of these things went against him, as I heard. So it was a good decision. It was the best decision for them to sack him. I think this is a board that is willing to listen to the fans. Up till 2 days ago, I was supporting Potter. I wanted him to go on. I liked the project. I liked what Bully was doing. But when you play a game, when you lose at home to Aston Villa in that manner, it was pure tactical issues for me, because you played players out of position. You didn't let Rhys James play his best position, putting balls in the box and all that. You didn't start by Badiashile, who I thought he was on that pitch. The first goal would not happen. So things like that. Then you start to look at the manager. I said it on the group. There was a point where Koulibaly, when he made substitutions, and Koulibaly would look to the bench and didn't know what to do. He didn't know the formation we were playing. So there was lots of confusion already. I knew that it was going to leave, and so it's the best decision. To the manager that we're going to hire, Nagelsmann is you can say he's a progressive manager as well, but he's more aggressive. I like him. He's more aggressive. He's worked with big egos. It's different.
People now they hear him now.
Yes, no. I want to pick on him first. If you ask me in 3 of them, I would say Luis Enrique. I would say then maybe Poch as second, and Nagelsmann as my third choice. But it looks like Nagelsmann is going to be the next. It's the preferred option. Even though I'm just reading now that the Chelsea board they are not comfortable with his age. He's 35 years old, and so they're having doubts about his age. Thiago Silva is older than him, and some players as well are almost like his age mate. So how can he handle this player? But that's left to be seen. So there's a feeling in the club right now that we're in a better position to select a manager, because we now have a proper structure at the club with 2 sporting directors, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley. We've got appointed them, so now we feel like we can now calm down and not rush. Just because we rushed in Aaron Potter, we can calm down and assess these managers properly. But it looks like it's going to be one of these three managers. And apart from the age barrier that the board is looking at, I think it might just be Nagelsmann, who I think plays a very good football. No doubt about it. He plays a fantastic style of football. But can he handle them? Can he handle these players? That's also going to be left to be seen. But he's more aggressive than Potter. If it was anything I was not happy about Potter is the way he was too diplomatic. He was a nice guy. He said all the good things. He's a nice man. I think he is good for a small team, not a big team. You have to be aggressive. Look at the likes of the Man United's manager. He doesn't spare them their blush. He doesn't spare no man. He doesn't spare them. He turned on his players 2 days ago and said they lacked determination against Newcastle. So you need big managers like that with big egos to manage Chelsea. So the mistake we've made is we've brought in a progressive manager to a club that doesn't deal like that. Chelsea don't deal like that. We are instantaneous. We need results instantly. But I think the only problem I have with Boli, which I will say now, is he's trying to change a lot so soon in the club. That is one problem. He's changing a lot so soon. He's not taking it easy. He wants everything done at once, and that's it. Because we are used to having the big managers, top managers coming in, giving us results instantaneously, and you suddenly want to change it to a Potter and you can see how that's backfire.
All right, Prof. I just remember one question which I'm going to direct it to Okwe. Okwe, please. With the way Chelsea is playing doing right now, with the way they are just managing, do you think any manager will not be scared of coming to that club?
I don't think so. Any successful manager and any manager who wants to progress in their career, Chelsea is always a fantastic place for any
the way the club is being run.
No, so at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's down to the individual when the individual converses with the hierarchy, right? Now, I just like Prof said, Chelsea are in a better position to actually get a manager. Why is that? Because now the manager is not going to be necessarily interfacing directly with Todd Boehly and co. Unlike Potter and Tuchel, who had no choice. Now they are sporting directors in play, and the sporting directors, to be fair, with all due respect to them, I'm not a big fan of their pedigree in world football, right?
You mean Chelsea, Abby?
Yes. However, they are qualified to be in that position, right? So you would only expect that Boehly and co know what they are doing when they put them there. My problem now is that I don't think it makes sense to go for a coach like Nagelsmann because it should just be a bad business decision. Why do I say that? For Chelsea to have gotten Potter from Brighton Hove and Albion, they had to pay out his contract. Chelsea spent 12.1 million pounds to get him out of his contract with Brighton, and now he's got he's got about 60 million left for them to pay him off. They can pay him off in the remaining years of duration of his contract. I think that's what makes sense, unless another club comes in for Potter now and they have a conversation about that.
Severance clause in his contract. I don't know if you've read about that.
What do you say?
Severance clause.
Okay, yes. I'm aware about that. So, but the problem with going for Nagelsmann right now is the fact that if you want to go for Nagelsmann, you will need to have a conversation with Bayern Munich on how you want to settle his wages, because they'll basically need to do the same thing that they did with Graham Potter. So for me, it would be a bad business decision to go after Nagelsmann. I think Luis Enrique has the right type of personality, to handle the dressing room, if you ask me. And I say no to Pochettino, with all due respect to Pochettino. Pochettino, just like Potter, has not won a major
Pochettino must come. Pochettino is who he wants. Pochettino is fair. Pochettino is come.
So, for a team like Chelsea, we all know that Chelsea needs successful managers who know how to handle the dressing room. Nagelsmann is too young, as far as I'm concerned. Chelsea has tried in the past.
Even me, I think say
Chelsea has tried in the past with Andres Villas-Boas, and we saw the way
do rubbish. They go drag him inside toilet.
No. We saw the way Villas-Boas lost control of the dressing room, and he couldn't earn the respect of the older players. So get someone who is proven and tested. I think in another world, maybe we would probably want Zinedine Zidane, but the likelihood of that happening is quite low, if you ask me. But I think it is another possibility that no one's really talking about, because Deschamps is very much still at the helm at Les Bleus. So
Blue, yeah.
Why not Zidane? Why can't Zidane come over? Yes, we know that Ancelotti is leaving Madrid at the end of the season, but I think after Zidane left Madrid the last time, I don't think he left on good terms. So it's difficult for me to see Zidane going back to Madrid again. He should come to the Premier League and let's give him his flowers, as a very good coach. And let's not just say that, he knows how to handle Madrid alone and the big boys. So let's see what happens in the near future.
Does anybody have anything to say about this? Which one? About Chelsea at the moment?
Since you've intentionally avoided to direct questions to me.
Hey, tell me so.
No,
now you come out, they come out. Now you they come out, they come inside. Now you they come inside, they come out.
I was just in a lighter note.
All right, talk to me, bro.
The network so bad. This Chelsea talk. I think I've listened to what everybody has got to say. I think they're failing to address the elephant in the room, because if Prof alluded to the fact that they are in a transitional process, or if that's the word he used, I hope I said it right. And truth be told, we from outside, we could see that Chelsea is going through a transitional phase. And Chelsea, for the past 20 years, give them the credit, they've been successful because of the billionaire, the Russian billionaire, because of the impact, because of the appetite for success. And funny enough, the guy that have come to take over feels, that guy, the Todd Bowley guy. One, I don't think he understands football administration, with all due respect to him. I don't think he understands football as a business. And the people surrounding him as well don't really, I think they're just yes people. Anything he says, they do. And that's what made Tuchel to stand his ground to say, hey, I'm not having this. Like, you could go to Blazes, I can do my stuff and I'll be good. Hence, the contract is just bagged with Bayern Munich, and we can see first game doing well already. So I feel the people surrounding Todd Bowley as well are people that don't really understand what it takes to take a football club from one phase to another phase. Looking at the whole hierarchy. Yeah, appointment may have come, but we need to just address the elephant in the room, which also are the fans. I know the fans make a certain quantum of the club, because the fan base is really important in any club. The fan base have a say to an extent, and the fans have been used to, winning. So now all of a sudden things have gone south, and they don't want to accept it. For any manager that comes in there, the monkey will definitely be at the back of the manager, except if only the board comes out to back the manager to say, hey, guys, this is what we're about to do. We're about to break this whole Chelsea thing down, and we're rebuilding. And this will take us like 3-4 years. Possibly have a talk with the fans and to be patient, not to put any pressure on any manager. But if that is not addressed, that's why I call that the elephant in the room. If that is not addressed, it's a pity. This Chelsea thing might just be in cycle. Look at now, Potter has been sacked, so the number 2 to take over. I shared in the WhatsApp group the next fixtures. I think Chelsea has 10 more games to play, and out of those 10 games, 7 fixtures are key. Newcastle, Manchester United, Man City, Tottenham, Brighton, Spurs, Brentford. Very, very key games. And if Potter, the number 1, couldn't rally these players, because I heard Prof said something about the players not buying into Potter's philosophy. So now tell me, if the players that were bought with huge amounts of money buy into Potter's philosophy, a manager that has been in that business for over 15 years, or close to 15 years, is it the number 2? I've forgotten his name. His name is telling me right now. Is it the number 2 that they will buy into his philosophy? So it's like a catch-22 situation here. If Boehly wants to go with the number 2 for the remaining 10 games, I fear for Chelsea. Because if you look at the points between Chelsea and the relegation zone, I think the difference is like 10 or 9.
I'm putting it on the screen now.
That serves me right. The difference is not much, and it just takes 3 games, losing 3 games, and Chelsea will be in that relegation squabble or relegation battle. So for me, at this point, it's very delicate, very, very delicate. the number 2 has a lot of work to do. If it's not the number 2, bring in a new manager that can steady the ship. Look at what Crystal Palace did. Sacked Vieira, brought in the old guard. In his name was Roy Hodgson, and you can see Crystal Palace were back to winning ways, even if it was a scruffy win, but the 3 points was on board. With this number 2, I fear for Chelsea. And if they stick with this number 2 and the number 2 doesn't do well, I will be here to laugh the hell out of Chelsea if they go into that relegation. And I'm going to that's just my 2 cents, man.
I mean, quickly, I would just say, I mean, it's quite laughable. There's no way in the world that Chelsea will be in a relegation battle. So that's not happening. And secondly, on the assistant manager, I think once when you lose a manager like this, the players know now that the spotlight is on them, and they must perform. They must stand up and perform. I think if Bruno Sauter, who, to be fair to him, was a leader in Brighton. I watched a lot of his games. The Brighton when he was in Brighton, and I think he has gotten his coaching badges as well. If he keeps it simple, that team is a very talented team.
What do you mean by simple? What do you mean? What do you mean by simple? How?
What I mean?
Please tell me. Yeah.
Overcomplicated things. We just said it here. You see, right, two fullbacks, beside Koulibaly. We had just one natural centre back against Villa. That's nonsense. So if Bruno does keep it simple, play a 4-3-3, use the right players in the right position, in the right formation, you will get results. So that's what I mean.
All right. Well, Don, just to rebuttal what Prof you're saying. That's why it's good to listen. Very, very listen attentively. The assertion that I made was, and the logic I used was, if the so-called players that were bought with billions amounts of money could not key into the number 1's philosophy, former number 1, which is Graham Potter. How do you want these guys to key into the number 2's philosophy? That's the logic I'm just using. And we've seen this play out in so many times. Over how many seasons we've been watching football? That it happened not too long ago. Our noisy neighbors, Spurs. You've never won any title in your entire history. Because the last time they won the title was in 2008. And you got to the Carabao Cup final just because things weren't going down well. And you had a seasoned manager that knows how to win trophy. And all of a sudden, the screw decided to be turned in the way they decided to turn the screw. Yeah. And they decided to sack Mourinho and went for the number 2. It wasn't even number 2. It was the under 17 or under 21 manager. And we knew what happened in the final. The rest is history. And we knew what happened towards the end of that season. So it has never worked out. That's the logic I used. That if these players... Excuse me, let me just round up. No, let me just round up. You don't interfere. You don't interfere. So the logic I'm trying to use is, we all, from the outside perspective, we this Chelsea team, week in, week out. They don't look like the team that, even if a Mourinho handles that team possibly at the moment, maybe the best they can squeeze out of them could be in the next 10 games, maybe it could be 15 points or 18 points, with all due respect to the Chelsea team, because I don't see that thing in them. I don't see, yes, they might have bought them with a lot of money, but I don't see that spark. You could see the last game, Aston Villa, do you understand, outplayed Chelsea, despite the fact that they had chances to have even made 2 or 3 goals in the first half. But you could see it still boils down to the players, and it's a pity it is the manager that gets the brunt anytime this thing happens. But I think the players as well need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, what are we doing? How are we raising up to this occasion? How are we, standing up to ensure that our performance counts? And the logic I just used was, if they couldn't stick to the number 1's philosophy, how do they now want to stick to the number 2's philosophy? And the number 2 will take them. Mind you, I said three games.
Yeah, 3 games.
It will be something. It puts them straight into the relegation battle, and which is not far-fetched, looking at the performances they put in for the past 10 games. So that's my assertion. I'm not here to make any anything. I'm saying things the way it is.
Sorry, they don't. Yeah, why I said the logic he made was very flawed is because the last time Chelsea is a big team. This player has never been in a relegation fight. I repeat, it's laughable. It's actually laughable. But the last time Chelsea sacked the manager and left the assistant manager, guess when? To take over the ship, it was Adri Villas-Boas. And the assistant manager that took over the team was Roberto Di Matteo, and they won the Champions League. That logic is absolutely flawed. That's what I mean by that. He won the assistant manager of Chelsea went on to win the Champions League. So
Yeah.
make do of.
So this is what we call
let's move on because of our time. I know.
This is what we call what about
help me now.
So that time that what's his name, Robert Di Matteo took over, Chelsea were not 9 points away from relegation battle. I mean, Chelsea were not 9 points away from the relegation zone. The stats, we can look at it. Chelsea were even. They were even in the first 8 or first 10 thereabout. It wasn't as abysmal as this. It wasn't as shambolic as this. So I could understand. Okay, if you look at the odd, how many times have Chelsea sacked their first manager? Out of how many times? If you look as the second in command, gone ahead to win stuff. So the one for what's his name again? His name just fell. I just mentioned his name now. That went ahead to win the Champions League. That was just a fluke. It happens. But like I said, it's just my logic. I stick to my logic.
All right. Because of our time, let's just quickly preview the match coming up in a short moment. That's Everton welcoming Spurs. And also on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, Bournemouth welcoming Brighton. Nottingham Forest flying all the way to Leeds United. Aston Villa doing the same thing to visit Leicester City. Now, the big game for tomorrow is going to be Chelsea-Liverpool. We are coming to that to do a quick preview of that particular match. Those teams. We'll talk about it. Then also on Wednesday, the beautiful club, I'm talking about Manchester United, the best club in England at the moment, not at the moment, will be welcoming Brentford. I hope, Kunle, we're having 3 points. Or what do you think? 3 points.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about that game as well. It's in that kind of game we need Casemiro's because Brentford are another physical
team.
We know what they did in the first leg, and trust me, they can do it again. That team is not joking. I mean, they were this close to beating Brighton. You saw that game at the weekend. Goes to tell you. That's why I remembered when Prof earlier in the season was trying to say they are small teams. I said, no, those teams are well coached. They are well coached. The players have understanding. That's why they can match up to any team in the Premier League, even Manchester City, if the opportunity presents itself. So Manchester United really have it. Forget that it's at Old Trafford, though. 20 minutes like this, it can be 2-0. So I'm not good.
All right. Going on to that, another game is going to be West Ham welcoming Newcastle. It's going to be another cracking game. But let's quickly talk about the Chiefs game for Chelsea versus Liverpool. I'm going to start off with Irate. Are you still in the building? Talk to me, Irate. This match is about to go down tomorrow. What's your take on that match? Is it the time for you guys to redeem your image? And what do you think?
It's a big game. And like I said earlier, these two teams are not where they used to be and where they want to be. But looking at the drab game it was in the first leg at Anfield, I don't think this game is going to be filled with goals. Honestly, both teams are not in the best of form.
Salah will still score.
I mean, maybe, but I would say, right now Chelsea are very vulnerable.
Very.
Liverpool as a team, we have a good record at Stamford Bridge, especially in recent seasons. So I think I am fairly confident going into this game, unlike the game we played at the Etihad in the weekend. And I don't see us losing these two games, Man City and Chelsea. I think the worst case scenario is going to be a draw in this game. But right now, like I said, Chelsea are very vulnerable. So I think the 3 points are there for the taking. Right now, I mean, if Aston Villa did it a couple of days ago, and who says Liverpool cannot do the same? So even though we are not in the best of moments, I expect Liverpool.
So talk about the players to be expected to file up in this game for Liverpool. What players do you in goal? Alisson?
Yeah, Alisson as usual. Then I think the same team we don't have any new players, like the same team that started the game against Man City will probably be starting. Maybe Nunes will be starting this time ahead of Jota.
What do you think about Trent? Still going to start?
I mean, Trent is Trent. Yes, there's absolutely, he's been playing like that for several years. There's nothing we can do about him. I don't think even Klopp has not been able to fix him. So there's absolutely nothing. I mean, the good news is he will be facing Modric, or what is the Chelsea
Mukaila.
Yeah, probably in that wing. Wing is not in good form. So I think Trent.
So I just want to chip in something for Irate. We all saw the game, Liverpool, Man City versus Liverpool. And what I saw, that Liverpool was a team that was scared their legs. You could see Van Dijk, you could see Konate, or what is his name. I didn't see the only person that had that fire in him in that game was possibly Mohamed Salah at the beginning. And even Gakpo.
Which fire did Gakpo have?
So the question now is, see, these guys, they are human. They are not robots. They are not robots that runs on AI that you can quickly reformat and reset their console, reset their bits and zeros and ones to like get back to firing. How does Klopp? I watched Klopp's press conference today. I saw Klopp was just rambling. I didn't see a manager who has control. How do you think Klopp will garner that team face Chelsea tomorrow? The thing that I saw against Man City, low in confidence, jaded. I just feel, in my own opinion, it's going to be difficult for Liverpool tomorrow at the bridge.
Before I answer,
I agree with you.
Yeah, Prof, I'm coming to you.
No. I want to add to what he said, so everything can answer together. I think he was right. Honestly, Liverpool looked shambolic against City. From top to they were not there. I think Van Dijk is a shadow of himself. You know, Alexander is who he is. He's always going to give a chance away. They are not firing. You know, the manager, like he said, I can't see that fight in the club's face anymore. He was surprised when they asked him at the press conference that three managers have been sacked, in a week, including Antonio Conte as well. He said he's surprised that he's the last man standing and all that. He knows. He said maybe.
Wow.
Yes, he said.
Is that true? Wow.
He knows his performances have been so below par this season. So I don't want to give it
these things are clear as daylight. He knows. All those things he said are things we already know. So he shouldn't. I like the fact that I didn't try to sugarcoat it. But answering your question, if you look at Liverpool against the Big Six, I sent that table to the group the other day. Liverpool is leading that table against the top six. And I can tell you that the game before Man City that we won at Anfield, I think we lost the game before that. The game before Man United came to Anfield, we won 7-0. We also lost that game before that, and the game after that. There's something that aligns football with mentality. And I said it before we went into the Man City game. It's the same thing that happened in the Madrid game. When you're in a particular location against a particular team, and this team has dealt with you so many times in the past, it takes a lot to get that out of your head. And I said that at Stamford Bridge is one place that Liverpool in recent, especially on that club, has not been afraid to go. So I'm very sure that Liverpool can live up to the occasion and get themselves galvanized for the game tomorrow. So the game after that, I mean, we have Arsenal at Anfield, another game where Liverpool has been very good in recent seasons. And I expect Liverpool to, put up a big game against Arsenal at the same time. So
you expect Liverpool to win back to back? You expect Liverpool to win back to back?
It's possible. I mean, for me, I would say if there's a place Liverpool can win. If there's a place Liverpool can win, it is at Anfield. So
good to Arsenal.
Of course, we've been beating Arsenal for how many seasons at Anfield? I'm not supposed.
I beg.
That's one game I'm not scared of. I'm not scared of the game at all.
I beg.
Guys,
I've said it several times.
But sorry, guys, something just came to my mind as about this discussion, and it's about the Chelsea manager, that interim manager. Because I was just even trying to read about him, but I just thought about something. What if, let's say, Chelsea beats Liverpool tomorrow, and let's say the result, and even though I know it's never out of the equation. Under him, Chelsea are able to beat Real Madrid.
I know what you want to.
Yeah, like, could he be giving the permanent?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
because
they did it
let's say
to
if
what we
Chelsea,
do it. That
They
man,
did
if
it.
Chelsea,
He
if
will
Chelsea,
sign
if
it.
Chelsea,
The only
no,
the
what-
only
no,
way
if-
the only
Yeah.
way Bruno gets the job, okay,
yeah,
probable. The only way he gets the job is Champions League. Then he has a shout to get the job because Matthew wasn't supposed to be just like that. But he went ahead to win the title, and then he was given the job, and then he messed up in the league, and he was sacked.
Yeah.
So if Bruno doesn't
Look, that would be Prof. That would be an awful decision.
It's like
That would be an
I don't-
awful decision.
beyond the Champions League, honestly, Prof.
everybody has a
Like
chance.
sometimes,
Both
you know
are
one thing I
ahead.
noticed about you, Prof, is like you don't even care if your team plays very well. Just win that Champions League, and
How can you
Well,
be champion?
I just feel that
We are
Champions
here.
League brand. I just
we are here.
you don't need
You don't
need to play well to win the Champions League. Your
Yeah.
2012 team
I-
didn't really play the best football, so there's always going to be that element of luck.
I
kind
don't
of.
care about playing well, though. As long as you
No.
win the trophy, I'm okay with
With
that.
that trophy.
He can hear.
this Champions League brand.
You
Prof
wicked.
is- This Champions League brand that Prof is on. If you took that 2012 Chelsea team, compare it with this current Chelsea team, side by side, that 2012 beats this team 100 times. In 100 times in every time we do the comparison.
Absolutely.
So in terms of mentality, in terms of capability, in terms of everything, in terms of togetherness, and mind you that team has been together for the past 4 or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, as compared to this team that Todd Boyle is just trying to ramp together, all-star team. So, like I said, football, anything is possible, but fingers crossed, and let's watch.
All right.
4 members of the team that won the Champions League 2 years ago are still present. The likes of N'Golo Kante, Thiago Silva, Rich James, they're still here. So I don't know why people think we didn't lose them. They are all
Let's just
Prof, I already mentioned that. I did mention. Okay, he's strolling now. He's strolling us now.
Have they played up to 200 games in the last 3 seasons?
I wonder how.
You guys, Prof is trolling. No one. They play, Prof. They play.
No, the way
So,
he's so obsessed with
It's so
Kante, I just
so
laugh, like,
with this match coming up tomorrow, what kind of which player do you think should your new interim coach should line up for? Is it still the same thing, or what are you expecting? Because,
Well,
I go ahead.
I believe we'll go with the 3-4-3. I have issues with that formation because I have issues with the formation long term. Because the likes of Madueke and Modric, they I don't think they can play in a 3-4-3 unless you maybe invert your wing backs and you play narrower and then put your wingers to play wider. That's the only way I can see them playing a 3-4-3. But I feel this team needs to transition into playing a 4-3-3 eventually. I've said that several times. But I think for stability, they should continue with the 3-4-3 till this season ends. At the back, Koulibaly, Badiashile, and I don't know what has happened to Chalobah, because he had some decent to good games. If Fofana is not really well, I prefer seeing Chalobah there than seeing Rich James playing in defense. So really, I would like to see a back three of Koulibaly, Badiashile, and Chalobah. Wing back, Rich James and Ben Chilwell. In central midfield, obviously Enzo and Kovacic, and then further forward, Pulisic, Mason Mount if is available, and Kai Havertz. Please, no Joao Felix.
No Joao Felix.
Nope.
Hello.
Yes,
Are we live? Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Prof, do you hear that guy? Your guy.
I feel he has no end product. If you watch him well, Chelsea fans like him, but watching him closely, he just does fancy flicks.
Robbie, do you agree with these people? Robbie, talk to me.
He fails to pick out the easy pass. He tries to shoot from really weird angles, and then again, no, let me finish. He tries to shoot from weird angles when he has passing options. He ignores those passing options and he tries to shoot from weird angles. And then when he's actually in promising positions to actually shoot, he's always trying to caress the ball. So he has little or no end product, and I feel he lacks the basic tenets of decision making.
Oh my goodness, Robbie, do you agree with this guy? He's saying Joao Felix in the mud at the moment.
Well, I think for Joao Felix, I don't even know where to start from because I saw a post yesterday mocking himself and Boda Mukaila. I saw a post on Twitter saying that both of them ignored Manchester United and Arsenal, and both of them they are suffering for those decisions in Chelsea. So I think for Joao Felix, I don't know. I don't think Chelsea will actually want to go for him permanently at the end of this season. And of course, that actually puts his future in another form of conundrum when he goes back to Atletico Madrid, because Diego Simeone will practically have to rebuild that side. And this season in the Spanish La Liga, they've been underwhelming. But for Joao Felix, I think for the games he has played so far for Chelsea, I don't know. I think Prof and Sheye will more or less be the best. Bro, they'll be the ones to judge his character. But I think for Joao Felix, he's been decent, except for that first match where he got a red card. But I think he has actually been decent enough for that side.
All right. Yes. He has not been decent too. He has not been decent.
No. He paid now, and so.
I understand what Sheye is saying. Okay, Sheye's point, but to be honest, Joao Felix still remains in our attack the brightest spark. And
Prof, stop it.
No, hold on.
Prof, stop.
God bless you, Prof. God bless you. I know I can count on you. God bless you, Prof. I know I can count on you.
Hold on. It's not Havertz at the moment. It's not Mount. It's not Modric. It's not Madueke. So who is the brightest spark? Who? It's not Aubameyang. So it's still Felix. Now,
Prof. You're getting fooled by his fancy flicks. This guy has no end product. Watch him well, Prof. Because of the fancy feet and the twinkle toes, he's not good.
Or it still takes more shots, and all that. But
the shots are weak, Prof. Those shots are always weak.
Hey, look at Modric. I'm telling you, Joao Felix finishes that goal.
Look at them outside.
Felix.
Look at them outside.
Let's talk on WhatsApp.
All right.
They are laughing at you people. They are laughing at you.
Irate.
I want to wait. Sorry about that. Sorry, I want to about what Robbie said, that we're going to sell Felix might go back to us. I don't think it's because Chelsea are considering Mount has not signed a contract, and so Mr. Mount might be sold this season for as much as 70 million. We need to sell players to balance the book, so I don't think we're going to lose Mount and lose to Felix at the same time.
How about you want to sell this Mount?
Prof, I also think it would be an awful decision to actually let Mr. Mount go because of Joao Felix. That would be a terrible decision.
Oh, he doesn't want to sign, so he should go.
Irate, what's the scoreline? Final whistle on this game.
I was actually, looking at maybe draw would be a good result, but this team is managerless, and 3 points are there for the taking. Honestly, I mean, there's no better time to play Chelsea. No, there's no better time to play Chelsea right now, honestly. And 3 points are there. Aston Villa just got 3 points a couple of days ago, and we have a good record at Stamford Bridge. So I think Liverpool should get 3 points. I'll go for a 2-1 Liverpool win.
Prof, do you agree with that?
Well, I don't agree. I think his team has a manager. So what's the use of the manager? I'm beating them.
All right, guys, we have to sign out. Kunle, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
He beat someone at the end of the. Let's quickly talk about that. Anthony Joshua. You watched the game? The fight?
No, I didn't. But
you watch highlights?
Yes, I did. And
they almost beat him. He almost lost too. I need to watch it.
You know the funny thing about it is that
okay, you watch him.
Yes, I watched the live bout. I watched the entirety of the bout.
Do you watch at some Kunle, sorry? Do you watch at the end of, I mean, in between? It almost is as if Anthony Joshua is about to, crumble.
Yeah, it was a very, very difficult fight for him. He struggled. And, he usually struggles against fighters who are shorter than him. I have to give it to Franklin, who came with the same kind of approach that that this Hispanic guy had against Joshua as well. Andy Ruiz, I'm sure Franklin watched the two bouts between Ruiz and Joshua, and he took advantage of that because, when Joshua faces opponents who are shorter than him, basically what the opponents do is that they just try and hit him where it hurts, basically in his liver and his sides as well, because they are shorter than him and they can be faster in getting those punches to him. And I believe he should have learned from the bout against Ruiz. When he goes up against such opponents, he needs to be quicker on his feet and he needs his punches to strike harder, because once they get closer to him, it becomes difficult for him to get punches on them, because they then hit him and then they bring him closer. It's difficult for him to get his strikes clean and his jabs clean. But definitely it was a well-fought victory for him. Overall, he was the better fighter, But, the problem for me is that Joshua is not back to that dominant fighter that we knew him to be when he first of all started out his career. There's a reason why he could go toe-to-toe against the Klitschko brothers. There's a reason why he could go toe-to-toe against Deontay Wilder. And right now, I don't see Joshua being able to hold his own in a fight against Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, because I don't think he's back to where he's meant to be yet. I think he needs one more fight, one more amateur fight, with all due respect to whoever is going to face next, before he gets into that big pay-per-view fight against the likes of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. For me, he needs his confidence back as well. If you watch the bout, if you see towards the end, Joshua was about to get out of character when the referee was about to separate them. He wanted to take a cheap shot at Franklin, and then Franklin's coaching staff as well, they wanted to try and get into it with him. He was about to turn into something else, but thankfully he was able to keep his cool and composure. And you know what, he just needs to stick to boxing and just be a professional. And just like I shared earlier with someone, after the fight, I said, Joshua needs to know. He needs better decision making in his bouts. He needs to know when he needs to take the fight to the opponent and when he needs to stick to the basics of boxing, because sometimes when he's facing super heavyweights like himself, he needs to fight. I don't want to see Joshua, being tactical and, dodging and, trying to find loopholes. No, he needs to take the fight to them. When he's up against, people who are shorter than him, people who will give him more reason to think, then you can be tactical and say, okay, you know what, this is what I need to do, this is what I need not to do. But last but not the least, Anthony Joshua needs to stick with, he needs consistency in terms of his regimen when he's preparing for bouts and his coaching staff. For me, he has changed the coaching staff way too often, and that will mess with your preparation. So he should just stick to this winning team, and hopefully he can be back to the best that we know him to be.
All right, thank you so much. This is how far we can go, guys. Please smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel, people. Thank you so much. Shaye, thank you so much for coming on the show. Bye for now.
Thanks, Don.
All right, Irate, one love, bro.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Prof.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll be here tomorrow to watch that match against Chelsea versus Liverpool. Thank you so much, Prof. All right, Kunle.
Yes,
how far we can go, bro.
Yeah,
one
thanks
love,
a
bro.
lot.
I appreciate, bro. All right, Robbie. Thank you so much, bro.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Okay.
Always a pleasure to do.
Aston are flying. What's the magic? Tell me. Let me.
Always. God has our new test.
Yay. Thank you, bro. All right, guys. This is how far we can go. It is what it is, people. I'm signing out. But first, big up to everybody watching this. Smash the like on the video and subscribe if you are watching this for the first time. signing out. Bye for now. One love. Later.